This is part two. Y'all, this is the second time I have to record this because the first time when I delivered that message, it did not save. I pressed the stop button and it was like, we're not going to save it. At 9:57, we're not going to save it. So, I'm going to do my best to relay this message. I felt like this is such a liberating message. So, I'm going to do my best to make sure that I relay the same message that, I was given, right? Um with the you're not for everyone, the void, I'm sorry, and perspective, right? With the double mission. As it relates to the two suns, the moon, Saturn, and Venus, I want you to really take a look at this, right? With you're not for everyone, I see this as you facing away from the past, right? You decided to go in a new direction. You're no longer looking at these, right? The past has been your self known, and I feel as if, with the two suns, and in different cultures, the sun represents God. God has illuminated that your path, your fate, for everything that's happened in the past, it was supposed to happen because it made you stronger, it made you wiser, it made you more diligent about who it is that you want to become, right? And you're being called to surrender to the sweetness of life because it's your time. That is the new chapter you're walking in, and God says so with that, right? And in the previous video, the wind was blowing through my window, and the Family Justice Center, there's a phone number that I have, right? That flew right here next to my cards. And so I feel as if a lot of this past karma, a lot of this south node energy, a lot of the trauma, the generational trauma that has happened, 434 as I say this, and 155 on a timer, right? A lot of the generational trauma that's happened and occurred in your life was mainly through family and friends, right? With the I'm sorry card here, you'll see like the roots. And this speaks about generational trauma. This speaks about our ancestors really apologizing for the fact that they couldn't be there in a way that, you needed them to show up, right? Or they couldn't show up and really heal through these traumas the way that you're doing it, right? You're a generational curse breaker. Whoever I'm talking to right now, you're a generational curse breaker. You have a lot of generational trauma within your bloodline that you have been working through on your own and really facing, right? You've decided to face those, sever some of those ties, sever some of the roots that have been tarnishing the bloodline and hindering the growth of you and other loved ones, right? But I feel as if with you, you've decided that this is no longer going to be your fate. You've decided that you have the purpose, you have that double mission. You are a light worker, you're a starseed. You were meant for more. And if you feel like if you've ever grown up and felt like you had a greater purpose than what it was that you have, you're absolutely right. You do. You have a major purpose here on this planet. You're supposed to be living in your purpose. You're supposed to be you to the fullest. And I feel like with Family Justice Center, right? I feel like there's being justice put on a lot of situations that you have, not only with family but with friends, past betrayals with relationships. 333 on a clock, right? You have divine guidance, divine angels that are protecting you, but most importantly, you have the Most High. You have God who is here to say no. You will no longer go through and endure these karmic, toxic situations with people who really are hindering you from doing God's work, which is being that light in this life, which is naturally being you, being authentically you, showing the truth, being who you were meant to be, right? Not who you think you should be, no, who you are meant to be. Not what others want you to be, it's who you're meant to be, right? So when I was shuffling the deck, right? This deck, right? I pulled out these cards. The Ace of Swords was at the bottom while I was talking my smack. You feel me? But either way, the Emperor came back out. So the Wheel of Fortune with the Emperor. It is your time to really stand in your power. Be that ruler that you are always meant to be, right? This is the Emperor energy is someone who is in full control of their life, full control of their decisions, full control in the path that they choose to go on. The Wheel of Fortune is a new cycle, a new beginning. This is fixed energy. So we do have Taurus, Leo, we have Aquarius, and we have Scorpio, right? an Aries energy. Saturn is in Aries as it relates back to the dream. It's your time to really shine. And with the two suns being at the being right behind the moon, it's like this is God coming in to show you no, there's no more illusions about who you truly are. You are this, you are that. People who have tried to tell you that you're not who you say you are, they're being pushed to the side. Actually, they're left in the past and they feel it and they know it. So, if you get people from your past trying to call you in, trying to be like, yo, what's up? How are you? I see you doing good. You doing your thing, right? Be mindful and use your discernment because not everyone has their best intentions for you. It's for the fact that you've elevated and you've glowed up and you've grown up and you've stepped into a new version of yourself that they don't know. They don't know you. They no longer know you. And that's going to be a bother to a lot of people because they only know the past version of you. They can't even relate to the new version of you. And, these people do feel left out. These people do feel isolated. They feel abandoned. They actually will probably be calling you to say, I'm sorry. Oh my, I am. I am allowed to say yes only when I'm allowed to say yes only when I want to say yes, right? These people are going to be calling you saying, I'm sorry. I really do apologize for really leaving you in this cold energy, leaving you isolated, right? Them birds out there is confirming a lot. The numbers 7, 22, and 4 can be significant, right? 22 is relationships, right? That's connection with people. 4 is that is like a full relationship. That's a dynamic. That's a household. That's a foundation, right? And 7 is the spiritual enlightenment that you get about yourself, right? What did I tell you about people being in regret? There's gonna be some people that are watching that are in regret for how they've treated you. This Queen of Pentacles, this abundant energy, this go-getter energy. All right, so Spirit, what exactly about this? 707. Oh, I got another one, another download. Okay, so with God, right? The work that God is doing on your life right now, He's calling for you to really embrace that weirdness and really face that true north, right? You're being called to step into that dynamic that you've kind of been like, you have it in you. You can actually get the job done when it's time. Like I'm talking to some people that like you are multifaceted, you are a go-getter, a hard worker. When you do work, you do it efficiently, and everything that you hold within you is valuable, right? You are valuable. There's no one like you. Like it's gonna be really difficult for a lot of organizations, a lot of people, a lot of dynamics, environments to function properly without your energy, without your value, the status you hold to yourself, right? And I feel like a lot of people are regal here. And I ended up pulling Miss Cleo's tarot power deck, and this is more Egyptian based. And when I grabbed the deck, I was like, oh, so we talking ancient Egypt, right? A lot of you have roots to ancient Egypt. Yous are kings and queens that have been reincarnated. Yous are light workers and healers that have been reincarnated to do God's work here, right? And you're meant to do it in an abundant lifestyle. You're meant to get what you're owed, right? Let's not play like these people. There's gonna be people mad that you get in this, that you're in 9 of Pentacles energy, which is an abundant energy, self-sufficient energy. This is someone who can do bad all by themselves. They don't need nobody to do bad with them, right? Yo, what other numbers are significant? Fives are significant. So fives, 4, 7, and 2s are very significant, and 11 as well, right? So I'm definitely gonna get some cards regarding this, but my whole thing is the Most High understands that no one is going to stand in your way. And if they do, they're going to get trampled down. They're going to get ran down on, because the Most High don't play about you. The Most High don't play about his children, his light workers. You're destined to have a new path because God said so. And whoever doesn't like that, whoever feels like, oh no, it's not supposed to be like that for them, right? They going to get ran over. They're definitely going to get ran down on. Guys, I'm going to do a part 3. And this is when I'm going to get to tarot.